whether the team is performing clean or unsightly. We'll cover it all here on Washington Football Nightly. I, of course, am your host, Louie T. Thank you for joining me. Let's get to tonight's lead story. So upon further review, watching the offensive film from the Week 14 matchup versus the San Francisco 49ers, I've come to the conclusion that Alex Smith was awful. He was horrid in this football game. I'm going to take it a step further and venture to say that this was the worst I've ever seen Alex Smith look in a Washington uniform. And this goes back to pre-injury 2018 Alex as well. This isn't the same guy that helped us win 3 straight going into this game. This isn't the same guy that I saw that was decisive, that was accurate, that was reading the field well, taking what the defense gave him against the Steelers a week ago. This isn't the same guy. Now, I don't know if he came into the game compromised. Was he already suffering from muscle soreness and tightness? Was his calf already bothering him during the course of the week? I don't know if any of that is true. I just know this. Alex Smith's decision-making process in this game was absolutely horrible. He didn't see the field well. He was predetermining decisions and throws. He was inaccurate, and he was indecisive. He was a lot of things that I haven't seen from him during this winning streak. And even the losses, even the Detroit game and the Giants game where he came in relief, I haven't seen this from him this year. He was all of those things, and he was awful in that first half. And contrary to popular belief, Dwayne wasn't as bad as initially thought. But here's the problem with Dwayne, and I'm going to get into Dwayne here in a second, but here's the problem with Dwayne. Dwayne actually was really good when he came in the game, those first 2 possessions, and we only had 2 possessions in the third quarter. Dwayne actually was really good on those 2 possessions. I was so encouraged. But when Dwayne is bad, his bad is as bad as it gets. When he misses terribly. And you don't remember the good things. You remember just how bad he looked when he missed. And that's the problem with Dwayne, is that he misses things that you shouldn't miss as a quarterback. And when he does miss, it's to the very end of the spectrum. Like, when he's good, you're like, man, that was pretty good, Dwayne. The play action fake, out route to Logan Thomas for a first down. That's good shit, Dwayne. But you don't remember that because you remember that on, 3rd and 10, Terry's open and he throws a 510 mile an hour fastball 10 feet over his head and it's almost picked off. That's what you remember. It's so bad. It's so egregious. You forget that on that second possession of the third quarter, he's got Steven Sims open. It's not a great throw. It's a very catchable throw, one that I expect a professional NFL wide receiver to make. You forget that if that's caught, it's a conversion and we're going for more points, and instead it's a punt. Why do you forget that? Because on that same possession, he throws an inaccurate fastball to running back Peyton Barber out of the backfield that forces him to have to dive to catch it. And if he just throws it to him accurately, and it's an easy throw, if he just throws it to him accurately, steps into it like a regular NFL quarterback, and not use all leg and arm, and not lock his leg out, I should say, and use all arm, then that's a completion that goes for a first down. There's nothing but space and opportunity and blockers out in front. So you forget about the fact that Steven Sims should have caught that football. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. How about that same possession? Jeremy Sprinkle is open on bootleg, and Dwayne decides to turn it down because he wants to be greedy. Nothing's down the field is open. And instead, he comes back to Jeremy Sprinkle late, locks the front leg out, throws it with all arm, and misses Sprinkle. He was open initially. If he gets it to him, it's a gain of 9 or 10, and you move the sticks. These are misses that you can't afford to have. But he was so good when he didn't miss. Yeah, he was calm, he was cool, he was collected, and he did some really good things, especially in the third quarter. I thought the wheels fell off in the fourth. I thought we put some pressure on him. There were some bad plays early in possessions, and he wasn't able to overcome. I thought the offense looked out of sync. I thought he looked flustered in the fourth quarter. I thought we saw Dwayne from early in the season in the fourth quarter. I thought we saw a new and revamped Dwayne in the third quarter. Problem is, he's inconsistent. I don't think you'll be able to fix his mechanics. And if you can't fix his mechanics, you can't fix Dwayne Haskins. That's a big problem for me. Because you're going to get accurate throws like you did in the third quarter, and then you're going to get throws like you got in the fourth quarter. Not to mention, Isaiah Wright on that double pass, Terry's wide open, dude. What are you waiting on? Throw the football. Throw the football, dude. And one more Dwayne thing. I thought Dwayne was exceptional on that opening drive and I thought he was just as good on the second possession he was in. I thought he was phenomenal. But you can't miss a touchdown. For as good as he was on that first drive of the second half, took us right down the field. It was a great mix of run and pass. The run game really set up everything, and he did a good job of complementing the run game. That's exactly what you want from Dwayne. When he comes in off the bench, cold, you say, hey, we're not going to put you in any compromising situations. We just want you to manage the game. We're going to put you in some third and manageables. We just need you to make accurate throws and convert. And he did that. Then we get to third and goal from the 2. And Steven Sims is open as open can be for an easy walk-in touchdown. And Dwayne doesn't see him. That's the shit I'm talking about. Like, the difference between us winning this game comfortably and having a struggle at the end is Dwayne not seeing Steven Sims walk-in touchdown. The play, and this is some of the things I talked about early in the season. You go back and you watch the film breakdowns from earlier in the season. We have plays designed to get the football to a specific player, and Dwayne's not even looking at that guy. You cannot have a guy be the first read on a play and you not even look that way. They're setting up a natural pick for Steven Sims to get wide open, and he does, and you don't even look that way. You look to Terry's side, and he's double covered. Why? Why? Doesn't make any sense. The play is drawn up for Steven Sims. Throw it to him. It's a touchdown. And that's the problem I have with Dwayne. When he misses big. And it's the kind that you can't forget. Etched and burned into my memory is that 3rd and 10 throw to Terry. I can't get it out of my head. All of the good things that he did in this game, you see that and you just think about all of the passes this season that we've seen Dwayne airmail. And you go, that's not going to change. Because his footwork and his mechanics can't be fixed. It's like a guy with a broken jump shot. You can't fix it. I remember, I'm a Grizzlies fan, Tony Allen. I'm like, why can't Tony Allen over the summer just work on shooting and fix his stroke? Because he's too damn old to fix his stroke. It is what it is at this point. Can't fix it. It's broken. Dwayne's mechanics are broken. You can't fix them. I don't care how hard you try. I don't care how much muscle memory you try to have him replicate these things over and over again. He is what he is as a quarterback with his mechanics. You can't fix that, and you're not going to be able to overcome the inaccuracies because the mechanics are there and they are what they are. He's going to lock that front leg, and he's going to throw it off his back. He's going to throw it off his back foot essentially, and it's going to be all arm. And he's going to whip that thing, and you don't know when the hell how it's going to come out, how fast, how low, how high, how wide. You don't know where the hell it's going. It's like a spray job at that point. There's no control over the football when you don't step into throws, when you don't have knee flexion and bend, and you just lock it out and you just all arm. Dwayne was not terrible in this game, not as bad as we think, but it was the misses. It was the missed opportunities that you remember. That's what makes it so hard to stomach. There were opportunities there left out on the field, and it wasn't just Dwayne. Steven Sims has to catch the football. I can't stress that enough. Isaiah Wright, they throw a double pass to you. Terry's open on a deep post. Cut it loose, bruh. I know you're left-handed. I understand you're left-handed. You want to throw to your left, it's easier. Throw it over the middle of the football field. Don't throw another one of those to him. If that was Logan Thomas, he's cutting it loose to Terry, it's a big play. Don't throw that again to Isaiah Wright. And he may be able to throw the football. He didn't make a good decision there. There were too many plays left on the field. Scott Turner's play calling on the first trip inside the 10 when Alex was still in the game, it was brutal. It reminded me of the Steelers play calling when we got down to the 1, and if not for the holding penalty on 4th down by TJ Watt, we would have gotten nothing, and we would have crucified Scott Turner for that. That's the second time without Antonio Gibson in the lineup, he's lost his damn mind when we've gotten inside the 10-yard line because Antonio is no longer in the lineup. When Gibson is in the lineup, we don't have these discussions about running the football in the red zone. We don't have them. And I'll take it a step further. All I was asking for, if you're going to decide to throw it 3 times, okay, whatever, I don't agree with it. At least put a running back in the backfield so the defense has to think that there's a chance that a run could take place. At least to do that. Don't empty the set 3 straight plays and tell the 49ers, hey, it's either Alex making a play or it's no play. Don't do that. As for the Dwayne first possession that got down to the 2 or 3, we ran it inside the 3. Why not run it again? Just a thought. Why not run it again? But I don't have a problem with it because the play you dialed up was a gem. And Steven Sims was open. Not open. Open. Not open. Wide ass open. Okay? Dwayne could have thrown him a punt. He could have fair caught it and scored a touchdown. And he didn't see him. And you drew it up for him. So, I understand. At the end of the day, Alex Smith was awful. Awful. Terrible. The worst I've seen him look. Dwayne was much better than he was. But Dwayne's misses are the kind that you can't unsee. They're the kind that hurt you. Alex, his misses were not good in this game. Like I said, it was the worst Alex I've seen. If that Alex shows up the remainder of the season, we're not going to win a lot of games. Because that kind of Alex will get you beat. But Dwayne can't, you can't assume that Dwayne is going to just make throws that we've seen him miss all year long. Misreads that we've seen him miss all year long. You can't just assume that with more reps, because we saw Dwayne early in the season with all the reps. Missed throws, misreads, and have to punt a ton of times. This offense was not on schedule. This offense was not able to sustain itself, and we were one of the worst offenses in football. You can't ignore the facts. That fourth quarter scared me to death because it looked eerily similar to Dwayne in weeks 2, 3, and 4, where we punted an awful lot. And there were a lot of 3-and-outs, and there were a lot of overthrows, a lot of misreads, some plays that, again, we run a screen, and Dwayne's running to the right, everybody's going to the left, and I'm like, what the hell is going on right now? Can somebody explain to me what's going on right now? Nobody seems to have an answer for me. Dwayne ends up having to throw it in the ground, and I'm like, what in the hell was that? We haven't seen that with Kyle Allen. We haven't seen that with Alex Smith. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Dwayne was much better in this game than Alex was. But there was a really low bar set by Alex, and Dwayne cleared that bar, but not by a ton, okay? So both of our quarterbacks in this game, honestly, if not for the defensive effort, they weren't good enough to win collectively as a group. But I expect that from Dwayne. I don't expect that from Alex Smith. I don't expect that from Alex. Again, I don't know who that guy was in an 11 jersey, but I need that guy not to show up again. If that guy's going to show up, just put 7 in. If that's because of an injury or mental fatigue or physical fatigue, just put 7 in, and we'll come back with Alex against Carolina, and we'll get the party going back again. But I can't have that guy show up again. That Alex, not good enough. That Alex, I don't want back next year. I don't want that Alex back next year. Can't have that Alex back. Not at, 19 million when we can save 14 against the cap. I don't want that Alex back. I don't give a shit how much he can help the young quarterbacks on the roster. I don't want that Alex back. I don't think you're going to see that Alex again, though. That's what I'm banking on. Because his career tells me that's not what you get from Alex Smith on a normal basis. It was just a rough outing. Those happen. With Dwayne, there's a track record that tells me this is what he is. Inconsistent at best. He'll make some throws that wow you. He'll do some things that you say, attaboy, Dwayne. And then he'll miss the easy, simple ones. He'll miss an easy read. He'll lock that foot. He'll lock that knee up and all arm it, and it'll spray it somewhere. Miss Jeremy Sprinkle, miss Peyton Barber, miss Terry McLaurin, and didn't see Steven Sims at all. Steven Sims has to catch the football on third down. Can't stress that enough. And I don't know, maybe that changes things. He catches that. Maybe Dwayne goes down, and even if that drive stalls out and we kick a field goal, still changes how he feels about that possession instead of it ending in a punt. He has to catch the football. I need Steven Sims to step his damn game up. I'm not giving up on him. I know a lot of you have. A lot of you don't want to see him in. I've heard people say cut him. I'm not on board with any of that. He's too talented. We know what he's capable of. He's in his head. He's in his own head right now. And the sooner he gets out of it and gets back to playing the football we know he's capable of, and that's why I say we need to get him involved in games early. Jet sweep, wide receiver screen. He needs to see some positivity early. Get him dialed in. Anyway, that was the offense in a nutshell. It was not good in the first half, and a lot of that was because of Alex Smith. I thought J.D. McKissic was outstanding. He missed a couple of things in the run game, but for the most part, I thought he was outstanding. I thought Peyton Barber did what Peyton Barber does for this football team. I thought he ran effectively. He ran hard. He got tough physical yards. And he actually caught it too out of the backfield. I had no problems with our backs in this football game. I thought that Robert Foster had an opportunity to make a big play. I mentioned that already. He stopped on the Alex. That was the best ball Alex threw the entire day. That deep ball to Robert Foster, and he stopped. I shouldn't say stopped. He slowed down twice, and he would have been right. That ball would have been right there in stride had he kept running. Alex missed Cam Sims for a touchdown. Alex missed a big opportunity to Logan Thomas. Alex didn't see the field well at all. He predetermined. He missed open receivers. He was inaccurate, and he just didn't read the field well. I was really disappointed in Alex Smith in this game. But again, it happens. That's not what we've seen from Alex, so that's not what I expect moving forward from Alex. And I don't know if he was compromised coming into the game or not. But there's a history there that suggests that was a one-off. We're not going to get that again. That's not what he does. So we'll see what happens. Reports are right now that Alex should be ready to go against Seattle. We'll see what happens. Practice is tomorrow. That'll tell a little bit of the story. They may take a precautionary day for him and allow Dwayne to take all the reps on Wednesday. And then it wouldn't shock me if Alex was back on Thursday taking the bulk of the reps and moving forward the rest of the week. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if Wednesday will definitively tell us anything or not. But I think if Alex practices on Wednesday and then practices again on Thursday, we know all we need to know. He'll be playing on Sunday. If he doesn't practice on Wednesday, I'm not going to overblow that. If he doesn't practice on Thursday, he's out for Sunday. Then I'm going to make an assumption, even if they don't tell us that's the case. So with that said, let's get to in other news. There's not much here, honestly speaking. We got nothing from on Tuesdays, as you know. That's a dark day for the organization. You don't get anything from a presser standpoint. There is no practice, so there's not much to talk about in terms of in other news. But there is a couple of tidbits, things that I want you guys to look out for, and I want to talk about those here briefly. So one, Washington put out their list of protected practice squad guys, and that list is as follows: the two quarterbacks, Steven Montez and Tyler Heineke, and then two offensive linemen. I think it's a tackle and kicker Kare Vedvik. Those are the four guys they decided to protect. More specifically, though, I want to talk about AGG. Last week he practiced. He was on the scout team. This week, I think he's going to get reps with the first team, and I think they're going to try to work him back in. I think he comes off of IR this week. I think that was Robert Foster's opportunity to show what he was capable of. He blew it. He misjudged the football, a deep ball. He dropped one in the red zone. It wasn't an easy catch. I need it, though. It wasn't a good ball from Alex at all. But that ball would have got us inside the 5 at the 3 if he catches it. Alex needed to throw a better ball. Not making any excuses there. Just like the Dwayne ball to Steven Sims. It wasn't a great ball from Dwayne, but it was catchable, and I need it. That wasn't a great ball from Alex. As a matter of fact, it was a terrible ball. At least Dwayne's ball wasn't terrible to Steven Sims. It was very catchable. Could have been in a much better location, but very catchable. One that I expect Steven Sims to catch. This one was not a great ball at all. It was actually a terrible ball from Alex, but I still need you to catch it. And he didn't. So I think his opportunity came. It's gone. I expect him to be inactive this week, and I expect them to activate AGG. If all goes well, if he's healthy, there are no setbacks, I think he would have gotten his football legs back under him. He kind of worked on that last week with conditioning and things of that nature. I fully expect Antonio Gandy Golden to be activated from the IR list this Saturday, just like they did in past times with guys that were on IR, like Cole Holcomb, for instance. They don't do it during the week. They leave him off the injury report the entire week, and on Saturday, they're going to activate him, and he's going to suit up. And I think you're going to see Dontrell Inman continue to be a healthy scratch moving forward. I think they're going to give these young guys every opportunity to prove that they belong. And Isaiah Wright, Steven Sims, Cam Sims, and now AGG. You're going to see all these youngins get every opportunity to prove that they belong on this football team next season. And if you don't prove, you're going to, just like Jeff Badette, you're going to be a healthy scratch. Just like I think moving forward now, Robert Foster is going to be a healthy scratch, barring any kinds of injuries moving forward. You're going to see a lot of those guys that got opportunities earlier in the season when we had injuries not get an opportunity now. Like Cam Sims, who made the most of his opportunities. These guys got opportunities. They didn't take advantage. And now I think you're going to see the core group be what they roll with the remainder of this season. But it should be interesting. I could be wrong. You could have another week of AGG not activated, and they'll have then one more week to make a decision on him. I think they make the decision this week. I think he ends up coming back, and I think they try to get him involved. He's a big body receiver that has a unique skill set, and I think they want to get him involved in the offense. He's got one catch on the season against Cleveland in week number 3. I think they want to get him involved, and it wouldn't shock me if they tried to get him involved early in the game versus the Seattle Seahawks. So we'll see what happens there. But that's pretty much all I got for you on this installment of the Washington Football Nightly program. I thank you guys for joining me. If you haven't already done so, what are you waiting on? Subscribe to the Louie T Network for more great content. Go ahead and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And also make sure that you hit the like button if you haven't already done that, and give me that thumbs up. I greatly appreciate you. We're going to be live tomorrow night on the Washington Football Nightly program, 8:30 p. Look forward to chopping it up with you. And I've got a couple of questions for you guys next year as to how we should move at the quarterback position. I think it's getting really interesting now because with the way this defense is playing, I think the focus might have shifted. We'll talk about that tomorrow. I'm gonna drop that in your lap, kind of let that marinate a bit. We'll come back, pick that up, and we'll talk about that tomorrow night. And we'll talk about the defense against the 49ers. It was a banner performance. We'll have the film breakdown, and I'll tell you what I saw on film. For those of you on Patreon, you've already gotten the first half. The second half is just about done. Just got to put some finishing touches on that. I'll upload that to Patreon, and you'll have that at your disposal as well. And then you'll have the defensive film tomorrow on Patreon as well. So look forward to that. I thank you guys for joining me. I'm your man, Louie T, signing off. And this has been Washington Football Nightly. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.
Here comes the diesel. Here comes the diesel. There's the snap. Hand to Riggins. Good hold. He's got the first down to the 40. He's gone.